Hi there, everybody. It's been a couple of weeks since I've updated this ultimate spreadsheet for all the next gen systems coming down. There's a lot of news coming around from official PlayStation blog, Xbox blog, Major Nelson, for instance, the game developers themselves about changes and details about what's going on with their launches for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. So I updated this spreadsheet as much as I could, and now I'm just gonna basically go over the changes that I made. Anything that stayed the same, I'm not gonna spend too much time on. For next gen systems coming down in November timeframe, it's PlayStation 5, PlayStation 5 Digital Edition, the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. The top of the line models both are $500, and the digital edition for the PlayStation 5 is $399, and the Xbox Series S is at a paltry $299. Payment plans haven't really changed. Release date Thursday, November 12th for both PlayStation 5s, and 2 days earlier for both Xbox Series X and Series S. And yeah, so those are pretty much in the same. Launch games, so this is the one that keeps changing all the time. Same thing with the launch window games. Let's just go down the list. Anything at the end of these lists are basically newly announced titles for that category that I've made. So yeah, let's dig into it. So Astro's Playroom, so that comes with every single PlayStation 5 automatically. I don't know how big that download is or how big that game is, so we'll see, which is important later on for how much the internal storage gets impacted by this right now. Also coming out on launch day, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which a couple screens and video dropped this week. It looks amazing compared to the work in progress alpha builds that they've been showing. Those were kind of but these latest screens have looked amazing. Demon's Souls always looked amazing. Destruction All-Stars, kind of interesting. Destiny 2 Beyond Light, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Dirt 5, Fortnite, Spider-Man Miles Morales, which looks amazing every time we see it. It looks better and better. Today they released actual fight footage with the Rhino and the cat Spider-Man. Like, it looks so good. Like, that might be my game of the year. Sorry, Ghost of Tsushima. Like, that might be the one. Sackboy Big Adventure, Observer System Redo, Godfall, Ribbit's Big Adventure, Maneater, the Pathless was just announced a couple of weeks ago, and Bugsnax, which was announced I think like this past weekend, something like that. So yeah, those are the big hitters for the PlayStation 5 on launch day. You could expect to get any single one of those titles if you want to, along with your PlayStation 5. Xbox Series X hasn't really changed too much. Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be their launch day. Destiny 2 Beyond Light, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Dirt 5, excuse me, Fortnite, Gears 5, Gears Tactics, Tetris Effect Connected, Second Extinction, Watch Dogs Legion, Yakuza Like a Dragon. The previews to that look so good. That might be RPG of the year, to be honest. It looks freaking phenomenal. I had question marks about the battle system and the RPG side of everything, but from what everyone's saying, it works fine. It plays fine, and it's so true to the Yakuza themes and formula that you're not even going to notice a big deal. Actually, this is gameplay of it right now, running in the first chapter, and I heard the English voice dub is amazing, so I might have to play it twice. Once through Japanese and then a second playthrough with George Takei and the rest of the English voice cast, so I might have to play that. The Falconeer, interesting title that was just recently announced to launch. It's made by a single developer, which is super interesting. And he basically developed it himself, with the exception of like maybe the artwork. I'm sorry, not the art, the music. But he compiled everything, he coded everything together. So that's gonna be one to watch. The art style is very reminiscent of Sea of Thieves, so if you're into that, Sea of Thieves and Crimson Skies gameplay put together, so you might be interested in if you love both of those things. Also launching on the Xbox Series, Observer System Redo, and Maneater. The launch window games change, and like we all know about like the Call of Duty, Cyberpunk, those games coming out. But other ones for the PlayStation 5 include Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which doesn't have a date yet, so I fear it might slip into the first quarter of 2021, but we'll see. FIFA 21, Madden NFL 21, NBA 2K21. That game looks phenomenal. Watch the trailer on 2K's YouTube website with the Golden State Warriors versus the Dallas Mavericks. That intro sequence looks amazing. Like Steph Curry's face, his hand motions because he holds the ball weird when he shoots threes. Like, it's weird. It's captured in there. Klay Thompson's face is amazing. Doncic's face it looks great. Anyway, check it out. Control Ultimate Edition's coming out. Marvel's Avengers, Override 2, Ultraman, Planet Coaster, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, Borderlands 3, Dead by Daylight, Doom Eternal, Far Cry 6, which releases in 2021, Hitman 3, Immortals Phoenix Rising, Kenna Bridge of Spirits. I'm looking forward to that one. I think it got pushed back to March 2021, but that game looks really fun. Riders Republic, Rainbow Six Siege, Elder Scrolls Online, The Witcher 3 free upgrade. If you have the current version, WRC 9, GTA 5, Worms Rumble, Mortal Kombat 11. So that's for both PlayStations. For the Xboxes, we have Call of Duty Black Ops, Cyberpunk 2077, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, Crossfire X with its single player, developed by the same people that did the Control series. Which is unique. The Xbox or this Xbox version of Crossfire is it's the only one that has a single player campaign. The PC versions before it never had one. Outriders, Dragon Quest 11S, The Ascent. I feel like that's going to be pushed into 2021. Forza Horizon 4, FIFA 21, Marvel's Avengers, Madden NFL 21, NBA 2K21, Control Ultimate Edition, Bright Memory, The Medium, which just got announced for December, Overcooked All You Could Eat, Borderlands 3, Dead by Daylight, Far Cry 6, Hitman 3, Immortals Phoenix Rising, Riders Republic, Rainbow Six Siege, Elder Scrolls Online, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, WRC 9, GTA 5, Mortal Kombat 11, and Manifold Garden, which was just announced a couple days ago. That's currently a Game Pass title, I believe, and yeah, it's kind of in the vein of The Witness, if you ever played The Witness, which is pretty mentally daunting if you ever get a chance to play it. So any cross-gen notable games, none that I don't think I heard or read about anything new coming down the line. So yeah, so those are the launch window games, which will probably be expanded the closer we get to November. Once November timeline hits, you're either gonna be releasing on the systems, or you just wait till the holiday season ends, and hopefully you'll catch everyone's hangovers in January. So I think that's the time to sell games that you weren't part of for the first round. So what else do we got here? So CPU basically the same, GPU the same, teraflops the same, target frames. So very interesting that this generation of consoles is following the PC side, what PC has been doing for decades, about releasing titles of varying quality in its graphics. So it was very common in the PC days because everyone's PC specs were completely different. But now in consoles, they have the same, almost not quite identical, but same range of specs. However, there are certain aspects or certain parts of the graphics you want to tune for that specific console. So for instance, the frames per second is a big deal because that varies from your target resolution and the quality of what you want inside of the graphics. So a game I believe was announced with varying Miles Morales. So Miles Morales, I believe, from what I read from the Twitter post, was that it'll run in 4K. However, if you want 4K plus ray tracing, it'll only run at 30 frames per second. So if you which kind of sucks. If you want 60 frames, you have to forego some of the features, or at least get a dip in quality for the graphics in order to achieve that. Say shadows won't be as well rendered, Texture mapping will probably be reduced in order to get that draw distance. That's a big one. So in order to get that 60 frames, it's unfortunate, but that's just how the technology works. Like there's varying constraints that you have in a console that you have to account for. Same thing with the Xbox Series X. Like the best version, or the best example of when this first started happening for a console, to me anyway, for 4K, was when Tomb Raider was released. So when Tomb Raider came around, it had you could have this game in 4K like resolution priority, and so it'll run in 4K. However, the shadow maps, the texture resolution, draw distance, all the draw detail, like that has to be reduced in order to achieve a certain frame rate. However, if you put the game in a frame rate priority mode, then yeah, like it'll try to reduce as much as it can to achieve that. The resolution obviously is the bigger one that goes down in quality to get that. Or you could just, say, F it, like, I want everything turned on in sacrificing of the frames. So there's just this, like, try a like holy trinity of three things you want in all possible ways, and you can only really achieve one side of them, whether it be frames per second, whether it be resolution, whether it be like actual graphics fidelity. Those are the three choices you're gonna have to make with a lot of these games coming forward. I hope first party titles do a better job at maximizing the capacity of each one of their consoles, so you don't have to choose a lot of the time, but they'll probably give you options as well. Target resolutions here, so yeah, this is the same thing I've been talking about with the frames per second, also with the traced rays. RAM has been the same, audio has been the same, IO pretty much the same. Internal storage, so this has been part of the debate because PlayStation 5 has a very small SSD already installed inside of it. It is already almost 200 gigabytes less than the Xbox Series X at 825 gigs. But after an OS install for whatever OS that you choose to put onto the PlayStation 5, it only comes out to around 664 gigabytes. So these are from leaked images from like a Russian website or something, which look pretty legit. So we'll have to see. Hopefully they run some compression technology in order to get that figure up. But like I said before, each PlayStation 5 comes in pre-installed with Astro's Playground. So I'm not sure how big that game is, but that'll probably eat into the 825 gigs of SSD you have. Hopefully there's a way to easily transfer games back and forth from an external hard drive. So it's for the last couple days, it's been Prime Day, so I was able to pick up one of these things. I got a 5. You see that? So this is a 5 terabyte external USB 3 drive. So I plan on using this for my Series X. Because I want a bunch of Game Pass games on there. I might actually use this for my PlayStation 5. So we'll see how that works. The weird thing is that you can install PlayStation 5 games onto an external hard drive and play them from there. Their internal memory is an NVMe drive, Generation 4. However, those are going to be super pricey. They're going to be like $200. Same thing with the Xbox Series X, that little proprietary drive that they showed. That's $200. That's $200, basically $230 for 1 terabyte expansion. So yeah, memory's not going to be cheap for this round. It'll get cheaper the longer the generation goes on, but initially it's not going to be that way. So that's why I picked up one of these things. And Sony has been really bad at like releasing hardware details. Like they haven't really released anything too much. They just released a hardware teardown of their system, which is nice, but the functionality wise, we still have no idea what's going on with it, and it's like less than 4 weeks away. A nice thing about the Xbox Series X that we do know is that, say right now I have a bunch of games installed into my Xbox One X, like the Yakuza series. So Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2. If I install it onto here and I want to play it on my Series X, I could just take this out from my Xbox One X and plug it into my Series X, and the Series X will recognize it and it'll play directly off of this thing, which is super cool. Or I could transfer it to the internal hard drive and have the advantage of doing like quick resume, I'm assuming. So yeah, that's going to be pretty sweet. The Xbox Series X and S, they're going to be super limited. So the details on the internal drive after an OS install, so they're estimating around 802 gigabytes of space after the OS has been installed. On the Series S, it's going to be even worse because it only ships with a 512 gigabyte NVMe, so it's going to be really tight. Probably 300 gigs inside of there. That's my estimation. So that's good for only like maybe like depending on the games that you play, but on average probably like 3 to 5, maybe 6 games that's going to be able to install in a Series S. On a PlayStation 5, we're looking at probably like 5 to 7 games max. And like for serious, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I think's hitting like 150 gigs like right now, and that thing keeps expanding the further it keeps getting developed for. So, and first party is probably even worse because first parties want to leverage that quick access to the SSD, so they'll probably install as much as they could onto your hard drive. I experienced that with Halo. When the Master Chief Collection gets installed onto your hard drive, like that thing eats. It's a beast. Like the last expansion was the ODST drop, and that thing ate. But that's after like 5 other drops. Halo 4 still hasn't even come out for the MCC, and that'll probably add on to like another 30 gigabytes. So you're looking at like a 200 gig install for that game alone. Same thing, Forza Motorsport 7, huge. So, you know, I'm sure it's nice to have first party games on your internal hard drive for quick access, but they eat like a lot. Just be prepared for that. Okay, let's keep going. So external storage, we've already mentioned those for each one. Important detail. So for the when the breakdown occurred for the PlayStation 5, you could see inside the expansion slot that it supports different sizes for the NVMe. So the NVMe has there's the smallest one, which is a 2230, then it expands to a 2242. It's just the length of the NVMe. So it's nice that it supports varying sizes, physical sizes of the SSD. However, I believe they have to be Gen 4 in order for you to install into your system and take advantage of the hardware. Okay, so USB PC external HDD for PlayStation 4 games only. We knew that. Let's see what else changed on the Xbox Series X size. We can store Xbox Series X games to an external hard drive and move them to the internal drive quickly. We could also install games by parts. So Xbox has intelligent delivery, which means that say you only want Halo for multiplayer, you have the option to only install multiplayer. You don't care about the campaign, you don't have to install it. So you already saved some space on your hard drive, some precious space on your hard drive for that. So I'm pretty sure that's going to happen for like Crossfire X. Like if you don't want to play it or you're not interested at all in the campaign mode, you could just install like this multiplayer mode. I don't know if they could go even further. Say if you want to only install like certain chapters of a game, like say like Tell Me Why is a chapter based game, or like so you only want like chapters like 1 through 3, and then like you delete those and you're like, okay, now I want to try, you come back to it later and you're just like, okay, I want to try like chapters 4 through 6. That's like, that'd be interesting if they could allow you to do that, because downloading a whole game series which you only need certain parts of is kind of a hassle, especially when you don't need it, and it kind of eats away at your hard drives, your precious hard drive space. So that would be nice to have. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see, the media drive, it's the same for both, hasn't changed. Ports haven't really changed. The networking hasn't changed. Oh yeah, one piece of information from the Xbox side is that, so it sucks, Xbox doesn't have Wi-Fi 6, it doesn't have Bluetooth built into it. That's kind of a pain in the ass. But it has something called network transfer via router. So say you have a game or data on your local area network and from a different Xbox, and you want to transfer data back and forth, you could do that with the Series X. I don't think it works from One X to Series X, but I'm pretty sure it works from Xbox Series X to like a Series S, or a Series S to Series X. So that's kind of interesting. It's good for like cloud saves and that kind of stuff in general. So maybe it's used to even set up your account onto the Series X from a One X. So that'd be pretty cool. The controllers, yeah, we both updated the pricing for both of these. DualSense controllers start out at $70, while new Xbox wireless controllers start at $60, which has been pretty much the same. Right, the controller capabilities have been the same, weights, dimensions, extras. So this is kind of interesting. The Xbox detailed a couple more features. So in the future for Xbox Series games, cross saves will be a reality between PC games and the Xbox platform. So which is kind of cool. They kind of already do that. Master Chief Collection does that with my multiplayer medals and everything. And same thing works for certain games, not all of them. First party games mostly. Like I assume like Flight Simulator is going to have the same deal. But it would be fantastic. Oh yeah, they also included 360 titles. So say you progress on Metal Gear Rising for the 360 on your 360, and you're like, okay, like this is nice, but I want like upgraded like graphics and everything and refresh rate. So you go into your Xbox One X, I'm sorry, your Series X, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna download and install that for backwards compatibility. You'll have your same game save from the 360, which is phenomenal if you play older stuff or you're interested in cross-platform saves like that. That'd be pretty sick. Okay, what else here? VR, not changed. Backwards compatibility games. So, officially, the PlayStation blog said that the PlayStation 5 is backwards compatible with over 4,000 titles of the PlayStation 4. With the exception of 10, and these 10 games are like games no one cares about and ever heard or have ever heard about in their life. So which is awesome. Like that's gonna be cool because I have a huge stack of my backlog that I need to get through for my PlayStation 4, like things like Gravity Rush, like Days Gone. Like I want to finish that game so bad, but I know I'll have a better time playing it on PlayStation 5 because of the upgraded frame rate and whatever it takes advantage of. However, here's the caveat to this. They might be backwards compatible, yes. Enhancements are hit or miss between whatever title is run. So certain titles might gain extra frames. So like I think Spider-Man 2018 will get a better frame rate. Just by default, by just raw hardware power, without any developer input. Other games might not, so it might help it might not. On the Xbox Series X side, I believe it's like if it's backwards compatible, it will get some sort of upgrade regardless. I think all the games that a lot of people have been trying out so far, it's been upgraded for like either the frames per second or at least a resolution bump. It just works somehow. And that's through no developer input. So like if you imagine like Crackdown 1 run like butt on Xbox 360 at 30 frames, it'll automatically be upgraded to 60 frames with 4K just by running it on that system. No developer input. Can you imagine what would happen if like the developer was like, yeah, okay, we'll work on it a little bit, give it extra textures, or high-res textures or something, or extra population into the game world. It would look phenomenal, and I think that's fantastic. Like you don't have to do anything; it just works that way. Let's see, what else is there? Nothing else has been really announced for hardware compatibility. Pretty much been the same. Same thing with the Xbox side. So same thing, game service, same thing. Online service, same thing. Titles part of the PlayStation Plus collection and Xbox side, pretty much the same. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the main changes. We have a lot of new information. It'll probably change even more within the next couple of weeks. So maybe I should turn these out every Monday because I feel like news happens on a Friday to a Monday schedule. So and that's when they like to release all this junk. So I gotta get probably on that. There's been a lot of news coming around this is generally what to expect when these two consoles launch in less than a month. So yeah, I hope this was informative. I hope this helped in some of your decision making. I'll try to keep up more as we go on. And yeah, happy gaming, everyone. Happy 2020 holiday gaming. See ya. Goodbye.